What the fuck is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome into Derelict Sports. It's Nick. You know what it is. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I know we all had a pretty crazy fucking weekend, eh? Huh? You holding on to your ass out there? I hope so, because if not, if you weren't holding on to your ass firmly this weekend, your ass cheeks were boom blown apart. A lot of crazy shit going on this week. Like always, you know what it is. I got my boy Dale with us. Front office will be here at some point. We're about an hour 9 minutes late because an after work nap turned into it's just very unprofessional behavior from your boy Nick. But that's why we're Derelict Sports, because we do derelict shit. So hope you guys are having and it says Wednesday 2-3. It is not Wednesday. It is Monday. So that's actually super sick.
We're in the future.
Change that real quick.
Sometimes you have a shitty Monday and you have a power nap and you think it's going to be a 20-minute power nap and then an hour goes by and you go, oh fuck, what the hell happened?
Dude, unreal, dude. So it's we're here though. We are fucking here. So hope you guys are having a good Monday. Hope you guys we're gonna about over the next hour or so. We're probably only stay for about an hour, usually 7 to 9. So if this is your first time stopping by, so sorry. Rest of the week will be on normal time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's gonna be our new schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 9. Maybe tomorrow we'll hop on I don't know. I'll make up for this a little bit. But we do got a lot to talk about over the next hour and a half or so. Like I said, we got the Luka AD trade, obviously, that went down. So we'll talk about that. We got De'Aaron Fox got traded. Big trade there. Bulls moving on from Levine, didn't get dog shit back. Just sat around in a cuck chair. Just awful shit from the Bulls. And then we've got Myles Garrett as a Brown. We'll wait for the front office for that one. Myles Garrett requesting a trade today. 8 years in Cleveland, drafted him. Publicly asked for a trade today. So that is fucking depressing, super depressing. So we'll get into that. And then we're at Super Bowl week. If we get to the Super Bowl, we might touch on a little bit. I mean, I know obviously it's a big deal. We got a lot to talk about today, so we may or may not get to the Super Bowl. We're mostly going to be talking about, like I said, these trades and talk a little bit about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's situation updated. You know, his situation got even more sad. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But other than that, dude, Dale, how are you before we get out of here or before we start? How was your day,
My day
weekend?
was unique. There was shit that we have where our cardboard goes. There's like a pit underneath there, so like once every like couple months we have to clean it. Well, there was standing water and it was black down there, so it was the smelling and I don't think I ever told you this. I don't have a sense of smell.
Yeah, you
So
did tell me that.
okay, yeah. So they looked at it and they looked at me like, "Fuck, this is gonna be a bad job." So yeah, it was kind of they abused the smelling impaired guy. So, but it was an all right day. So got the
How was the
kid.
weekend? Did
Weekend
you
was good.
you were pretty late to most of this stuff this weekend. Yeah, I know you were traveling. You had a lot of stuff, so you're really. I can't remember. I mean, I know the Myles Garrett stuff you didn't see till later in today,
Yeah.
but where were you when this Luka trade happened? Were
The
you at the gals?
Yeah, because I when you texted me in the morning and I was like, literally, I'm like, holy shit, this is like I don't believe this. Like this feels like a trade that you would make in 2K.
Yeah, it is one of the most insane things. If you guys are under a rock, then I guess you haven't heard. But Luka Doncic. Let me see if I can pull up this full trade. No, I don't care about this. A lot of interesting information coming out today, though, about Nico Harrison really dropping the ball. Rob Pelinka. It seems like Rob Pelinka may or may not have pulled a fast one on the Mavs here. I mean, obviously the Mavs got back what they wanted, but there seems to be information coming out today that the Mavs. I'm trying to pull up the full trade right now, but seems that the original deal was actually bigger than the deal they got. But as you guys have heard, this was not a Laker idea. This trade was a Maverick idea, a trade that they approached the Lakers about, which is insane. That I mean, imagine you're Rob Pelinka and the Lakers, and you get a phone call, and it's the Mavericks, and they say, "Hey, we want to trade you Luka. What would you say if we thought about maybe trade Luka Doncic for this?" And people were, and of course,
They were
Rob
pissed.
Pelinka was like, "Well, what the no fucking way, right?" So over the course of it sounds like 2 or 3 weeks. It sounds like Nico Harrison streaming. What up, 94 Diamond? You fake bitch. Um, but anyway, yeah, so it sounds like the deal got watered down a little bit. So the original deal was okay. So the deal that happened was so the Lakers get what up, Big John? Big John
Big
Money.
John.
What up, big
Damn.
dog?
Been a hot minute, Big John.
Oh yeah, and we're drunk tonight. Let's fucking go. But we got Lakers got Doncic, Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris. Dallas gets Anthony Davis, Max Christie, 2029 first round pick. And then the Utah Jazz, which it is hilarious because fuck Danny Ainge. I'm not a Danny Ainge guy, and it's coming out today that Danny Ainge did not. So this deal happened in such secrecy, no one knew. Luka didn't know. AD didn't know. And then it comes out today that the Jazz this is a new guy I never seen. No, so this is actually this is Green, dude. Or well, I guess yeah. Well, maybe yeah. He's seen you on stream. You've just always been pixelated and slow.
Yeah, it looked like I was like from like 1947.
So we're here.
I'm a new
But
person.
it sounds like the Jazz didn't even know who they were. So it sounds like uh, Danny Ainge is pretty pissed off today because he is obviously not a Laker guy, longtime, Boston guy, all that shit like that. Yes, sir. Um, would never want to help the Lakers. What comes out today that he had no idea that they were even helping the Lakers in this team. They didn't know what was going on in this trade. They just knew that they were in a 3-team trade. I guess, it's up to them. I don't even know if they knew they were in a 3-team trade. Danny Ainge goes, by the time I realized that basically that he was helping the Lakers, that it was too late to turn back. Like it was he had learned by the time he had learned that they were the 3rd team in the Luka trade, people were like, it was already done. It was already finished, ready to go.
That blows my mind. Sorry to interrupt, but like, are you that fucking clueless to not? You'd have like we've all watched Moneyball and watched them make trades, and it has to be something. Obviously, that's made for TV, but it has to be something along those lines, like texts and calls. But like I just can't understand how you wouldn't know that. Hey, Luka Doncic is moving, and you want to be part of this.
So it says the Utah Jazz 13 facility. This is Ramona Shelburne, Tim McMahon reporting. Complete the deal. Jazz were the 3rd team as needed. Lakers looped the Utah Jazz and hated, Utah Jazz and they hated Danny Ainge, but as Tim McMahon and Ramona Shelburne of ESPN reported, kept them in the dark on what deal they were helping out until it was too late for them to do anything. It says even the Utah Jazz 3rd team that facilitated the transaction by collecting 2 second-round picks, absorbing Jalen Hood-Schifino, didn't know Doncic and Davis were a part of the deal until about an hour before it was completed, league sources said. Even Jazz president Danny Ainge, who hails from the Lakers-hated rival the Boston Celtics, had only about 30 minutes notice, sources said. The Los Angeles Lakers was about to acquire Luka Doncic to be the new face of the franchise, but by then it was too late to do much about it. NBA history was already altered.
Damn.
So Danny Ainge has no idea this is a thing. Done in this, I mean, in the dark, this move. I mean, this is one of the biggest moves. Do we have Discord? Yes, sir. Actually, I did fix that, so you can try to scan that, see if it takes you up there. But so what do you? Okay, so I guess we'll obviously I want the Chiefs to trade for Myles Garrett just so the world can burn, dude. Bradley, my man, let's not do that, huh? Let's not do that. I'm a Browns guy. Let's not fucking do that, please. God.
We will get to that point. Let's get through the NBA first. Then
Yeah,
I will
don't
give you
send
the
me into
floor.
depression just yet. Front office should be here at some point, I would assume, and we'll jump right into the Myles Garrett because yeah, that is a lot to talk about there. Um, so what do you okay? So what do you think about this? So what first, there's a lot more to this that we'll get into, but what do you right off the bat? What do you feel about this trade? Do you think do you think that do you believe the Mavericks won this in the short term? Lakers win in the long term? Or do you think that
Uh,
this was just a must-do deal for the Lakers, and what the fuck were they doing?
how could the Lakers not like? I am not a Lakers person by any stretch of the imagination. But how could you not like you even if you have this year and maybe next year with LeBron, you have those two together for a season and a half, and you have your future. He's 25 fucking years old. 25. He's still got
25.
he's still got 12, 13 years if he stays healthy. If he plays to LeBron in 40, he's got 15 years left.
Yeah, and I, this whole so what do you think? Okay, so what the weight factor, none of that would worry you, obviously, or would that persuade you from so obviously now he can't get the supermax, right? He was eligible for the 360 some odd million supermax with Dallas, but now that he gets traded, he loses $100 million.
Right.
He obviously could still sign pretty big deal in LA, which I'm sure he's going to do, but not nearly as big. Would that persuade you like at all, or do you just say? Because like I said today, I had kind of said in the video I posted on YouTube that this is one of those trades that you just make and figure it out. You always make this
Yeah.
trade and then you just figure it the fuck out afterwards.
Yeah, you figure out the salary cap, you figure out the thing, there's sneaky ways, there's cap gurus can find ways that hey, we can't pay you this, but we can wink wink nudge nudge get you a nice mansion or like there's I know they're not supposed to, but it happens. Let's be realistic. There's ways to find him, or that $100 million. We're gonna hook you up with insert LA company, and we're gonna get you, that $100 million over time. Like he'll find a way to make that money back. And I'm with you. If that trade get laid to me, I would first go what, and then it's like, how fast can we hit accept and make this happen so that nobody backs out.
Yeah, it's such a obviously Nico Harrison, GM of the Mavericks is the guy. He's going around right now. He's the guy that's kind of the face of all of this. I'm not going to play this, but just so you can kind of get an idea of what this guy, you guys see what this guy looks like. So there he is, Nico Harrison. I don't know if anybody saw this press conference yesterday, but they come out and they kind of Nico tries to give his thought process on the whole thing. I do give him credit that he was very transparent through the whole thing. Like if you're gonna make a trade like this and you're gonna go out in front of the media, you have to stand on it. You can't go out there and you can't fucking bitch out about it. Like you have to go up there and own it. So he did, and don't get me wrong, he was like, I agree on I don't fucking care about 10 years from now. Like, I'm probably not going to be here. Like, I'm trying to win. Like, I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, but and it could be the wrong approach, but at least he's like, look, this is what the fuck we're doing. Like, this is how I believe it. I mean, there's rumors today that there's not rumors, but Chandler Parsons come out today. I mean, look, so the funny thing about it, Jason Kidd looks so sick over
Oh,
this. I don't know if anybody saw this, but he kept saying, well, I make the decisions. Jason Kidd just kind of, he is here for them. He is, he believes in it, and like he just looked like he wanted to fucking get up and walk. He looked like he wanted to cry at that press
yep.
conference yesterday, because he knows what he has or had,
Yeah.
and you're hearing reports that Chandler Parsons says today he texted Mark Cuban right afterwards, said, "I'm so confused," and Mark Cuban replied, "That makes two of us." So, there is a lot of moving pieces here that, I mean, Nico Harris, this is, if Nico Harrison gets this trade right, say on the off chance that Luka just balloons the fuck up never gets his shit under control, just becomes a fat fuck, waste of NBA player. Somehow, if that happens, this will be like, I would never shut up about this. Like, if I was Nico Harrison, I'd be like, yeah, I'm that guy. But when more than likely this trade doesn't look that good in a few years or even now, this is like, has all of the looks of, nobody in the organization wanted to have this conversation when he brought up. It seems to me that he convinced this organization to just trust me on this. This is how it needs to be. And it seems like everyone's kind of like, we hope to fucking God this guy got this right.
Oh, absolutely. And it just feels like what is it going to take? Like the it almost feels like the Mavs need to win like 2 titles, and the Lakers win none for them to even have remotely a chance of them winning this trade.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that are talking about, you know, um, Mavericks won this trade as far as the short term because this boosts them up to the front of the Western Conference. They say it makes it better than Oklahoma City because when you come down when you the way that Stephen A put it, I think today, I think he was the guy that was like, OKC is really good and they're like the best team in the West, but they have their last 2 losses coming on the year both came to Dallas. Dallas beat them in the playoffs last year, knocked them out of the playoffs. So it seems that they might be some sort of a Achilles heel for OKC, and then you lose Chet. Even if you got Chet, you go out and add Isaiah Hartenstein, who is a nice player, nice guy at the 5, good rim protector, good. But then your biggest Achilles heel goes out and adds Anthony Davis. It's like that could be so. I don't believe in that personally, but there's a lot of people like Charles Barkley, Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith. There's a lot of personalities, and I know a lot of these guys, are just here to talk shit, but they've kind of got the opinion that this is a long term. The Lakers win this because, like you said, the moment LeBron James leaves this team, whether it be retirement, whether it be trade, whether it be whatever. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
Whatever. The moment LeBron James steps away from this team, they have already got the next face of the franchise. Like, he's there,
Yeah,
ready to go.
and you have him with arguably the greatest player of all time right now, and I know that he's 40. Like, me and LeBron are the same age, but there's still something in that tank. If we're in the Western Conference Finals, you don't think he's emptying that tank for one more chance, and he's got Luka, and he might convince himself to come back. Like, we hope he doesn't become a shell of himself. We don't want to see Michael Jordan with the Wizards. Like, putting that out there. But if you think that you can get 60 games in a playoff run out of him in his 41-year-old season, Lakers are now a top. The Lakers are a top 3 team in the West.
Yeah, I
know
this is
LeBron doesn't want to do load management, but at 41, you can find a way to like get him his 55, 60 games, get him going good, and then be ready for April.
because they've already said that apparently today he is like Luka's ready to go. His rehab's good. They're saying he might play Saturday. They're saying that as early as Saturday we might see AD. I'm sure we're going to see him probably pretty quick. Dude, this is just such. Like I said, the Luka weight thing. Like you're putting a guy who has a weight problem in a situation like you said with arguably the greatest player of all time, who. What?
That's what my son just showed me. I don't know if
Rams
this is true
seeking
or
to
not.
trade Cooper Cup
it's
immediately.
posted by NFL on CBS, and it has the blue check mark, which is official.
Hey kid, breaking news for us too.
Hey kid, breaking news for us,
Breaking
dude.
news
Let's
for
go.
us. Thank you, sir. Thank you for interrupting.
Yeah.
Seriously, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, that's
we got
good.
something
Let's
else
go.
to talk about.
O'Shea Jackson just said I lost Anthony Davis and Cooper Cup a day apart. Yeah, that does look like it is going around right now. Look at that.
Jesus. Wow.
Well, we'll talk
Sports
about
world's a
that too.
little.
I wonder, I mean, is he coming or what is
Yeah,
coming on? Like, what is going on here?
so you're with me too. Like the Mavs got to win 2 NBA championships, or the Lakers have to go on like a decade of not winning it to even remotely have a chance of winning that trade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's what I mean. A lot of people think that they have won the trade right now and that they could kind of like this. Yeah, I mean, they got to make this happen. I mean, Kyrie, they're putting a lot of faith in an older Kyrie, which I know he's doing pretty good things right now with the ball in his hand a lot with Luka being out, but I don't know. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Luka AD is a nice thing. Gafford's nice. They've got Klay Thompson, another person, a perfect piece for somebody like Kyrie Irving who can just stand in the corner while Kyrie is a magician with the ball and kicks the ball out to him and, hitting three. He kind of do the Steph Curry thing. Not obviously not shooting like Steph Curry, but he has better handles than Steph Curry. He's got the ball, same kind of Batman role or Robin role, kind of. Not even that at this point because you got AD who's Robin, if not Batman. Anthony Davis might just be Batman now. I mean, but we've seen that. We've seen what happens when Anthony Davis has to be the best guy. We've seen when, he doesn't have another, but he's got Gafford, so maybe, it's going to be a good situation. I think that they are a damn good team still, but yeah, they really need to. I mean, they've got to rip off some championships immediately because, like, Anthony Davis is not getting any younger. He's, Luka's only getting. He's gonna. I said this today. He is gonna be so motivated. Like the Lakers, if they don't get rid of LeBron and they push this forward, I mean, you got to think that you're getting a Luka Doncic that you just called a fat fuck. You just took away $100 million from him, and now you're putting him next to a guy that, like I said, spends $1 million plus on his body every single year. This guy is a genetic freak. He's a fitness freak. He is not the last guy. The last thing that he's going to let Luka Doncic do is have a walk around the Lakers team with a weight problem. This is going to be the guy that he's the perfect guy to put Luka with right now, to mentor, to play. It's just a perfect situation for Luka.
Like you look at me right now, and I've got 15 years on you. We can find a way to milk everything out of you, even if it's only 10 years.
Yeah, I just it's a crazy. I mean, this isn't a crazy fucking trade, dude. I mean, this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest NBA trade ever. I mean, it definitely the most shocking. But there's just so many pieces to this. I mean, the secrecy, the coming out of nowhere, I mean, Anthony, you'd never see trades like this big. I mean, this is insane. You got Anthony Davis, who, no players knew this was coming. Luka's dad saying today that, like, this is, I mean, this is the guy that, like, they keep talking about his weight, but, like, the guy just played over 100 games last year. Luka's dad's like, he played over 100 games. He was averaging 30 points a night, playing 40 minutes a game in the playoffs. And that apparently nobody's talking about that. He's like, this is pretty. I mean, he's a 25-year-old kid. That's not that. It's so crazy. He's 25.
Yeah,
I can't get over the fact that, like, he's not even in his prime.
That's scary. Do you know what this feels like, Nick? I'm going to use a hockey reference for 2 seconds. They did an ESPN 30 on 30 years later of the Wayne Gretzky trade when he got traded to LA. This feels like it could be one of those kind of ideas that in 10, 15 years from now, we're gonna know all of the dirty secrets of it, and this is gonna be fascinating to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, dude. This is, like I said, this is a legacy move for this guy. This guy is going to be, like, if this trade doesn't work out, or the chances of Dallas feeling like they win this trade in a couple years is slim to none. But at least they feel like they've got a return out of this. Like, this guy is going to be like public enemy number one in Dallas. Like, this guy, I mean, and it can't be, like you said, you're hearing guys like Mark Cuban, like, I was confused. Like, it truly feels like this guy went out on a limb and he was like, dude, just trust me on this. It's going to work. And they're hoping it works. Cause I mean, Luka, I mean, this is 25 years old. Every problem that kid has, I mean, and even with the problems he has, he averages goddamn a triple double, damn near. He is insane. And like I said, I don't care that him and LeBron are two ball dominant guys. That's going to be a process trying to fit those guys together for sure. But like, if there's anybody that has, LeBron's been just begging for a reason to take a back seat for like 4 years now, and nobody's been doing it. Nobody's stepped up to do. AD was supposed to be that guy that came in, and obviously he's been great there. They get a title together. There are nights where I've said it plenty of times, when Anthony Davis is playing basketball at his highest level, he might be the best player on planet Earth. He's that good. He's unguardable. He's unstoppable. I mean, he's unstoppable when he is on his game. Big man like that, hits threes, can do everything. He's a defense god, but like, I just feel like this is, I don't know, dude. Like it's such a this is such a mind fuck for me. Like, I don't know, dude. I just feel like, I don't even know where I was going with that a second ago. But
you're right. It's just like, there's a man that is making millions of dollars that has made this trade. It's like he played fantasy football and he made the stupid big trade, and the other two guys got what they wanted, and he's just like, no, just wait, it's gonna work out. And everybody else is like, what? How? We're gonna find out, but it don't look good in the short term. Like Dallas needs to win a championship this year or next year to even think about it being a chance of winning that trade.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be very interesting to see what happens here. I mean, Dallas, I mean, they're like leaving jerseys and shit outside by Dirk's. I mean, it's going to take a lot to convince these people that they made the right move. I mean, this is a, I don't know. Like I said, and LeBron, I really think that the transition is going to be easier than I thought. Like I think that he's been wanting somebody to come in and be the guy, and I think Luka could come and be there. And I said now he's driven, he's motivated. I think he's going to come in, and I think he's just going to be on fucking demon time, dude. He is going to come in and just fucking. He's just going to go ham, dude. Like, I really believe that. Like, I think that he is. I hope we get to see him on Saturday, and I hope LeBron doesn't leave. Like, I know that so Big Perks always said that this kind of opened up the door for a LeBron trade. If anybody was going to trade for, if there was going to be a time to trade LeBron, this was going to be it. And then you've got the Golden State Warriors looking kind of shaky. You've got, them now. The reports are they're desperate for a star. I think LeBron would want to play with Steph for the end of his year. Now, I don't know if this changes. I don't know. I think that there are so many interesting storylines that can come from this. Like, now you're hearing, I mean, the fact that they've even had to come out today and they're like, yeah, we don't think we would move on. We're confident LeBron doesn't want out, and then you hear that, oh, well, the Golden State Warriors are desperate. They've called everybody. I just feel like there might be something there. Like, there might be a, I mean, you got to remember that, they got to hold on to a first. Well, I guess they wouldn't trade the first round pick there, but I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense. I think Golden State, I think if there was a chance, for him to go to Golden State and them to get him, I think they would do that. And I think they could get LeBron with a Wiggins, I think there's a Wiggins, a few guys plus. I think they could get LeBron, but I don't know. Maybe there's also reports saying that this extended his career. He's talking about signing an extension in LA. I don't know. This is crazy, but yeah, I'm very excited to see how this is going to play out. I mean, this is the biggest trade I've seen in my lifetime, and it could have been bigger. Like I said at the beginning, I never got to it, but the fact that Nico Harrison had multiple first round picks in this trade, they were saying that there was Dalton Necht was in this trade. Apparently, it was like multiple first round picks, Dalton Necht, Anthony Davis. Like, this package was so big. And then over the course of weeks, Rob Pelinka convinced him that no, Luka's health is an issue. Like, his weight is an issue. Man, like, imagine that he can't get it under control. Like, basically, it basically convinced Nico that package was too much to give up for Luka Doncic, and they scaled the motherfucker back to be what it is now. That is
nuts.
that is masterclass. That's a guy just mind fucking another guy.
It's gonna be fat. I'm telling you, this is like has an ESPN 30 for 30 written all over it in 10 years time when and we'll get to learn about all the little things that happen too that we don't know yet.
Yeah, this is going to be well. And while I'm waiting on. I mean, I assume he's.
Yeah, this is a good day for front office to be here.
But if you guys were thinking that this is the dumbest thing this guy's ever done, I found this. I was reading today about more about Nico Harrison because he is one of the most. Like I really appreciate that he went out there and just stood on business in that Jason Kidd thing. Like he was like, no, this is the fuck word. This is how it's gonna go. We're better defensively. You know, I don't know if taking shots at Luka was. I don't really like the way that they've just. I mean, they have just tried to kill his image since the way he's gone. I mean, they are just. He's a fat fuck. He drinks a lot. He's ballooned up. We gave him abscesses, all these crazy abscesses to go lose weight. Like they're trying to slander the fuck out of him right now, but it's crazy. But I'm watching him and I'm like, dude, he kind of is a smug fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm watching Nico Harrison, like he is kind of like just that kind. He just isn't a likable guy. Well, I found this story about him today, which I'm assuming is not, you know, it's not like some big crazy secret story, but because it's kind of been making the rounds today. But if you thought you've heard about Nico Harrison before, it's because you have. And if you thought this was the biggest mistake of Nico Harrison's career, it just might not be. And that is because Nico Harrison is the guy that all those years ago, when Steph Curry, before he went to Under Armour, went to Nike to do a presentation from Nike to get a presentation, trying to figure out where he was going to sign his shoe deal at. And see if I'm trying to get down to this. And this is the guy, Nico Harrison, that was in charge of the presentation and cost Nike Steph Curry.
Really? Wow, I never heard of that before. Wow, really?
So 2013, Curry was 25, right? Hadn't won a title yet. Sat down with Nike. Was going to be a second shoe deal. So he was already with Nike, but he was a free agent. It was, you know, so he hadn't even won a title yet. Sitting down to talk a new shoe deal. Under Armour offered him $4 million. Nike offered him $2.5 million. But apparently the money wasn't that big of a deal. It was a big deal, but not that big of a deal. So Nike apparently shit the bed here, right? So Harrison, who put this thing together, said that one Nike executive reportedly mispronounced Curry's name, calling him Stefan instead of Stephen Curry. So he kept calling him Stefan Curry. Meanwhile, a repurposed PowerPoint with a picture of Kevin Durant, not Curry. So they just took Durant. They basically took the pitch for Durant, took him out of it, put Curry on it, but forgot to take Kevin Durant off the front of it.
Wow.
So he shows up for a PowerPoint. It's got Kevin Durant on the front of it. Apparently, he kept calling him, or a couple times he called him Seth in the interview. So he kept calling him Seth, his younger brother, was one of the things he did. So all of this is the reason that he walked out of that. So this is all Nico Harrison putting this together, and he walked out of that thing and left Nike, went with Under Armour, which has cost them hundreds of millions of dollars at this point. But yeah, so that's Nico Harrison, same guy that traded for Anthony, traded Luka Doncic because he has a gut feeling that this is what needs to happen. So Mavs fans, I'm very fucking sorry.
Yeah, that's not cool, Mavs fans. Oh boy.
Well, they got an F from ESPN today, and then the Lakers got an A. I saw that, so
kind of makes sense.
Definitely the craziest thing, dude. I'll never forget where I was when this happened. I was up all night long after this trade, just reading and I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is a guy who, I mean, before we move on, we'll get into De'Aaron Fox here in just a second. And I'm sure that guy who was in here earlier, probably not here anymore. He's probably like, yeah, let's talk about the Chiefs and Myles Garrett. And he's like, yeah, fuck these guys. But normally we're on a better schedule here. We usually have a 2-hour show, and we're trying to squeeze this onto an hour. And front office said he was going to be here in 20 minutes on normal time, and he's read my text saying we're on now, but I don't know where he is. But before we move on from this, I just think the last part about this that I think is so crazy is the fact that, you know, they have one of the most sought after. They would have had one of the most sought after trade pieces, you know, or players, period, in the NBA. And he's 25 years old, and they didn't shop him whatsoever. They didn't say, here's what we can get this way. Mikal Bridges got 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, okay? They got 1 first-round pick that apparently, and they kept their other first-round pick, which apparently they can just turn around and use that for a center. Which apparently they're looking at, what's his name, up in Mitchell Robinson or whatever up in New York. But like 1 first-round pick?
1.
Brother. I mean, that is fucking unreal, dude. Like, you didn't shop him. You just called one team and said, this is what we want. Here is Luka Doncic. Like, it is a gift. Rob Pelinka was just, I mean, this just fell. Luka Doncic fell in the Lakers' lap. That's crazy. They just basically had to say yes to the trade.
And like you said, you figure out the consequences later.
100 out of 100 fucking times.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with the Luka trade. Like I said, the good thing about all this is we get to see how it plays out. So we could be wrong. Everybody could be wrong. I mean, we could all be totally wrong. Luka could never get it together. Luka, LeBron don't fit. Anthony Davis fits in seamlessly. You know, you never know. We'll just have to wait and see. But from the early takes on things is that, yeah, this is a bad move. Such a crazy move too. Luka Doncic. Shams literally had to tell you that he wasn't hacked. He was like, yeah, this is real. This actually happened. People didn't believe it when it came out.
Yeah, and when he gets fired, he has to justify this to get another job. If you want to get another GM job, you have to somehow make that trade make sense to another person that wants to hire you.
Dude, it is, yeah, I don't know. That's so crazy. But let's move on to the other one. So De'Aaron Fox, another one that was kind of puzzling here, right? This not puzzling for the Kings and not puzzling for the Spurs. Kings, Spurs, both get better. You know, I think they both maybe not get better, but I think they both come away from this going, hey, all right, we got fucking not too bad here. You know,
Yep.
The Bulls, as Big Perk put it last night, when you guys sleep in hotels, there's the cuck chair. They sat in the cuck chair. They gave away Zach LaVine, and all they got was their own goddamn pick back, basically.
I know. I read that, and I was so fucking confused.
Like, the Spurs, you got to think, the Spurs giving up some places here. The Spurs, they win this. I mean, De'Aaron Fox, Jordan McLaughlin, and all they're giving up is, of some picks. They give the Bulls their pick back, what the fuck ever. Kings, they get Zach LaVine, who the Bulls have been trying to move off of for the first time. They get nothing for Zach LaVine. Insane. If you're going to Zach LaVine's probably no De'Aaron Fox, but not a bad replacement. 3 first-round picks for the Kings. The Kings did a damn good job here, too. If you're talking about trying to go into a rebuild here, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's still kind of like they traded. I think I saw something today where it's like they trade Halliburton and somebody for Halliburton and Fox for LaVine and Sabonis. So maybe it's not that big of a difference. But if you're going to make dumb moves, at least come away with some shit. And 3 first-round picks is a pretty good start. But the Bulls, Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter, and their own 25 pick back from San Antonio. This is puzzling.
Puzzling is a very good word. It's not even a good pick that they're going to get. It's going to be a late teens to early 20s pick because the Spurs are going to make the playoffs and they might win a round.
I think I saw today that out of all of the trades the Bulls have made over the last couple of years, like DeMar, Vucevic, all of the people they've traded, they've gotten like no first round picks in any of those trades. So it's just like incredible, just terrible managing. So not obviously not a. I mean, and the fact that the Spurs didn't have to give up their Atlanta pick, or because they own Atlanta's first round pick, they don't have to give up that, and they didn't have to give up Stephon Castle. Like they kept everybody. That is crazy. I don't know. I mean, Spurs, Fox Wemby, there is going to be a pretty nasty duo. Zach LaVine, I guess, and Sacktown, them and Sabonis. That's not bad, but yeah, the Bulls. If you're the Bulls, you're sitting around going, "What the fuck is this?" So, how much better does this help the Spurs? Do you think that this makes the Spurs any more of a contender? Do you think this helps them at all right now? Like, obviously, De'Aaron Fox is a nice piece, but do you think this pushes them into a playoff spot? Like, do you think Wemby, Chris Paul, Vassell, Castle, and Fox are going to be enough?
If they don't get Oklahoma City, if they get a 6-5 hole, they got a chance to steal around. But if they're in the play-in and they're gonna have to play Oklahoma City or that, no, I think that they got better, but I don't think they got good enough to like shock the world. Wimby has to carry that team, and Fox is going to help and take a little bit off of him, but Wimby's got to carry that team, especially in the playoffs when it's possession for possession. There's not as much fast breaking where you're not playing wide open. It's half court basketball. That I don't think screams Spurs basketball right now.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I definitely think it makes it good. Like, I think they're an interesting team to watch. I mean, I think that I agree. I don't think they're gonna make any noise. I do think they can maybe steal around, but Fox and Wemby are definitely good pieces to go forward. Like, I think that they can definitely build around that. Vassell's nice. Cat. I mean, it's good pieces, and I do think in a year, they could definitely grow. De'Aaron Fox is basically the vet there now. I mean, Chris Paul, but like as far as like I would assume. Who knows if Chris Paul will be there next year? But De'Aaron Fox is kind of like the guy now, and him and Wemby, and I do think that's a young team that could definitely grow into something for sure. But yeah, I good trades for both of them. I definitely, this is an exciting trade. I mean, weekend wise, this might be the craziest. I mean, weekends of. I mean, this weekend in NBA is just giving you everything. I mean, this is two just absolute. Like, I mean, maybe not, or one of them's earth shifting, but the other one is basically like it's a normal blockbuster. If Luka Doncic didn't just get traded the day before, we'd all be like, holy fuck, De'Aaron Fox just went to the Spurs. But
exactly. I think it's a good, it improves the Spurs. And right now, it's not like their championship window, it's still opening. So if you're the Spurs and you can play a 7-game series and lose in the first round, success. Anything after that, bonus.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox, 25, 5, and 6 this year. He's pretty nasty. They gave Kings an A for it. Yahoo gave Kings an A, Bulls a D-, Spurs A+. So
makes sense.
Pretty big trade there. So definitely, like I said, I can't wait to see how these trades kind of shake out and see their respective teams. Like I hope that I'm not a Spurs guy, but I like Wemby. De'Aaron Fox is a great player, so it's cool to see what they do. And then obviously, I hope LeBron does stick around unless he leaves and comes back to Cleveland, which I did make up a fancy trade the other day, which no picks. It was just players. And I think the Cavs can do it. but whatever. I definitely hope he stays there because I want to see LeBron and Luka, and I want to see AD in Dallas. I think Dallas could. I mean, first game after the trade, obviously no AD, but they go out there and just get absolutely pulverized by the Cavaliers. No PJ, I think no PJ Washington. Like half the team was out, but yeah, I'm excited to see AD go there. Let's see let's see if AD takes anything he learned from Bron. Let's see if he takes anything, if he's a new guy on his own after time in LA with Bron and doing his own thing. So definitely be interesting. But who do you think is the bigger loser here, Dale? Do you think the Bulls are bigger losers here, or do you think Minnesota, or do you think the Dallas Mavericks are bigger losers here?
Ooh. Wow, that's a good question. I think it's easy short term to say Bulls. Ooh, that is a tricky one because I think if the Mavs win one title, in theory it's worth it. As my buddy Nelson say, banners fly forever. So
yeah, I mean I'm with you on that because
I think the Bulls. Sorry to interrupt. I think the Bulls are easily the loser, but if the Mavs don't win, you kind of have to say it's them. Like you need time to answer that question, but I think the safe answer is the Bulls because if the Mavs are destined to make some Western Conference Finals in the short term, where the Bulls are not even in the fucking area code, they're hopeful to get into the play-in.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely got to be the Bulls. I mean, just awful giving up Levine, getting your own pick back. I mean, at least the Mavericks are like they got Anthony Davis.
Yeah, at least you've got a top 10, 5, 10, 15 player in the world for however, and who's like starting if not in his prime.
By the way, Domantas Sabonis, I'm about to fly to Minnesota and put my whole foot in this motherfucker's ass. This guy's been playing for 27 minutes. He got 10 points.
How many points did you have him?
We took him for over 20 and a half because no Fox there. Obviously right now, Levine's not playing yet. So, Sabonis, DeRozan are basically it. But Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, basically everybody but Domantas Sabonis has scored good points. So, yeah, fuck me in the ass on that one, but oh well. Mongo money, or not Mongo, or Derelict, that's going to be an 0-1. And it looks like Minnesota minus 4.5 is not looking good either because they're losing by 2. So
the Rockets were leading this entire game. I just opened ESPN up again. Well, we got the +6, so there's still a little wiggle room. And Minnesota's close, and Kansas is up by double digits almost at the end of the half. So, yay.
All right. Well, we've waited long enough. If he wants to show up, he show up. Let's talk about Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, dude.
Floor is yours, sir.
So Myles Garrett, 8 years as Cleveland Brown, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. Probably the greatest defensive player that's ever stepped foot in Berea, ever taken a snap for the Cleveland Browns. Who just recently said on Hard Knocks, I don't think we're that far away from a championship. I talked to Kevin and them, and I think we're in a good spot. Turnjohn says publicly that he would like a trade. Now, this definitely hurts, sucks balls. It gutted to see this actually happen. But to say I'm completely taken by surprise would be kind of a shot. Kind of a lie. I think that if you're realistic, I think you kind of know that this was probably a possibility, especially with the Browns after going 11 and whatever, 11 wins 2 years ago, come back winning 3 games this year. Myles not getting any younger, 29 years old. Doesn't want to go through a rebuild. He made that clear at the end of the year. This is not what he wanted to do. Now the reports are that this is not news to the Browns. This has basically kind of been going on in the background, but this is him kind of making it public. So before we get any further, I'm going to read this. So he says, this is what he posted today. Sent a copy of this to Ian Rappaport. He was the one that broke it, I believe, this morning. So Myles Garrett says, as a kid dreaming in the NFL, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl, and the goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio, an incredible fan base of Cleveland Browns, has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. The goal was never to go. So this is a lot of people. This is what everybody's keying in on. This last little part here, this little sentence, because if you guys remember a couple days ago when Andrew Berry got in front of the media, and I believe it was at the Senior Bowl, and he said, we are not fielding any calls for, we have no plans on trading Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett is a long-term piece in our future. And he ended it by saying, the plan was always for Myles Garrett to go from Canton to Cleveland. That was his line. Well, Myles Garrett says the goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton, or from Cleveland to Canton is what he said. So the goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It was always been to compete and win a Super Bowl. So with that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. So just a direct shot at Andrew Berry, basically saying, oh yeah, that's not what I want to do. So what do you feel about this? Because if I start, I'm just going to keep ranting. So let me get some thoughts on you. What do you think about this? Are you surprised? Do you think they do it?
Not surprised that it came out, but not shocked that it probably was going to happen. Like you said, if you're 29, you're in the prime. Football is a cruel game. You're one hit away from being done forever. And if a ring is that important, this is your shot. And you're one of the few people in the football world that can call a shot. We just showed the Hey kids, Cooper Kupp gets to call a shot. There's not many people that get to call their shot in the football world. And if you have that, good.
Yeah,
Browns, don't fuck this up. You got a chance to get either a piece or a pick that's going to help you. This fucking sucks. I don't even need to tell you that, but this fucking sucks. I am a glass half full person. You have a chance now to make a man happy and watch him go win a Super Bowl, and you can get a piece for this, maybe two.
So, my question here is, so they came out today immediately after this was made public, and they said, "What's up, front office?"
What up, front office?
Whole day's just fucked. We're all just behind. But Wednesday we will be better. I fell asleep too because we started at like 8 instead of 7. Just terrible.
I blame Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
damn
ridiculous. Right. But so they said immediately after the trade that this doesn't change anything for them. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they've known about this. This is something that they've probably been talking about since they've had the meeting with Myles Garrett. I would assume in the meeting when they talked to him about their future plans, I would assume he probably made it clear then he wanted to be traded. Didn't want this to go public. And then after Andrew Berry made the, Canton to Cleveland thing, I think that kind of probably pissed him off a little bit. And especially because, he goes out after he's already, I guess, privately asked for a trade, and you're like, oh, we're not fielding any calls. We have no plans, blah, blah, blah. Like, basically, like, yeah, fuck whatever he wants. Like, we're pushing forward here. Like, that's what we're going to do. So that pisses him off, so then he makes it public. So it definitely sucks that it became public. But there are a lot of people out there, like front office and I were talking earlier, half the reports are, oh yeah, the motherfuckers are ready to give up 2+ first-round picks for this guy. They're ready to go. Like, but then there's Diane Rossini posted earlier today that she's heard from multiple people that have said, this isn't a 2-3 first-round pick guy at 29 years old. Like that those offers aren't coming. It's going to be a first round plus a second round, or first round plus 3 second rounds and a player, something in that range, but it's not going to be 2 first-round picks. Now, again, I am with you on, we have a great opportunity to make a man happy, give him his opportunity and get a return back. I think that we owe Myles Garrett that. I think that he has been here long enough. It sucks that he wants to be out, but if he truly, truly wants to go, and we can find a good situation for him with a good return, we're not just giving away Myles Garrett. I don't give a fuck what you want, Myles. Sorry, not happening.
Mhm.
We got to make that trade happen. But again, it has to be worth it. I'm not, if you call, Franz said today, we are all about making Myles Garrett happy. But if all we're getting is first, second round picks and, middle of the round, we also have to have a point where we just sit down and tell Myles, look, many people request trades and they don't get it, and you're just not getting. You're just not till something comes along. You're not getting it.
Browns fans, can I ask both of you a question, because I know I'm not going to have as hot a takes as you on this. So doesn't matter what the team is. He's going. So say it's one of the teams that made the playoffs. So you're getting a 20-ish first round pick, just for shits and giggles. What do you guys want? What do you think is a fair return for Myles Garrett in his prime?
Front office, I'll let you start with that because you're just now getting here.
Yeah. First off, depressed, disheartened, want to quit, everything, all that, times 100. But to answer your question, Dale, it's going to take a top 15 pick this year or next year. At the very least, like if you're picking in the 20s, miss me with that, because it's going to take 3. Okay, if you're the Lions, if you're the Chiefs, if you are anybody that made a first round of the playoffs, you're going to need to give me 3 picks, because your picks are going to be so less valuable than a team that's going to be picking in the top 15.
Right.
And the unfortunate part is I don't think that somebody's going to really offer that for Myles Garrett, unless Andrew Berry decides that he wants to take do him a solid and trade him for something like 1 or 2 or 2 and maybe a player. I would take, if you're going to give me, a 23, like let's say you give me 2 firsts, and they're going to be around the 20th pick. I want a difference maker in return as well. It does, offensive, defensive side of the ball doesn't matter to me. But you're going to give me one of your players that is actually talented. You're not going to be giving me, some bum. Maybe that's too high, but when you have a guy that most scout or most analysts, most people in the league are pretty confident that he's going to go to Canton, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. And you didn't have those talks necessarily when Khalil Mack got traded. I think now he might have earned that, but there's not a lot of doubt that Myles is going to get there. You need to give me 2 good picks meaning top 15, which is hard, obviously, at least one that's top 15 guaranteed, or you need to stack up, give me 3 or 2 and a player,
or
a real player,
or you can need some cap space to get something better.
Right. Straight up, that cap space is, I don't want to say it's meaningless, because it is important, but actually, if you want to give me 2 20s and take Deshaun Watson's contract, all right, I would do that. That's fine with me. Now you have to be an idiot team to do that, right? And it would suck to get rid of Deshaun, but it's pretty clear that his time here is over, especially if we trade Myles. There's no reason to bring him back at that point, at least in my mind. So if you're willing to take on that contract and give me 2, 20-ish first round picks, okay. Maybe I'm too rich. Tell me I'm an idiot, guys.
Well, I definitely think that the bar has to start too high and work your way down. And I'm looking right now that they have organized a protest outside of the Brown Stadium for they're demanding that Andrew Berry be fired, and people have actually showed up to this.
Yes.
So this is outside of Cleveland Brown Stadium. Here's a guy lighting some jerseys on fire.
Nothing wrong with that. I would make fun of you, but I am a Rider fan, and crazy shit like that can happen.
Dude, good. I mean, How does that man still have a job? That's my question.
Who? Andrew Barry?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a very puzzling thing that this is. I mean, we have. I don't know. I mean, I am shocked that they are going to let these are the guy. Like, I don't know. Like, what does Haslam feel like? Like, do you? We're a mere months away from the draft, and it's like a lot. Or half the, if not more than half the fan base doesn't think that Andrew Barry should oversee this rebuild, and then this happens today. Like, do you see the Browns making a panic move here? Do you think there's a chance that they make a panic move for the draft and fire their GM? Like, do you think Andrew Barry gets fired for the draft, or do you think they hold tight and push forward with this, or do you think that they'll cave to this? Because Jimmy Haslam's the kind of guy that I feel like likes to make a nice knee jerk reaction. That's one of his favorite things to do.
God, dude. I don't think that Andrew Barry is just going to let Myles go without getting something that he deems legitimately worth it. Now, what I deem worth it and what Andrew Barry deemed worth it might be different. But outside of the Deshaun contract and trade, he hasn't missed on any in season or off season moves. Like, as far as personnel, totally disregarding the draft. Right? He won Amari. He won Amari both times. Jesus. He brought in some good people. I thought Zadarius Smith was a good signing and a good move. He has made decent personnel decisions when they're not in the draft related. So I have a good amount of faith that he's going to be able to get it done. But even besides that, it's optics at this point. You can't have him as your GM because of what he's done and the decisions that he's made that have led us here.
Can I double
Yeah,
down
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Andrew Barry. I think we're probably going to keep him. I think that's probably, but yeah, today was one of those things where, like, even after the year that we just had, you got Myles saying, oh, well, we're not that far off. You feel like we're only a quarterback away. We got the 2 pick. It feels like that we're not, but this was kind of like, it felt like, damn, like after this, it was kind of like, it makes me feel like whatever Myles heard didn't excite him. That kind of kills my hope that we're going to fix things this offseason, or even like close to fixing things. Like, it's like, damn, like maybe we aren't just a quarterback away. And now we've got like the shit is crumbling. I mean, like we're in a spot where, I mean, Myles Garrett's talking about leaving. I read after that Joel Bitonio, that if he leaves, there's a good chance he retires because he's not going anywhere else, but he wants to either stay here or retire. And if Myles Garrett and some of these other guys, older guys, start jumping ship, you're going to see guys like Joel Bitonio. I mean, this could just have such an impact down the line. And I don't know. It's a sad thing. And I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to, because I mean, we can't fire our fucking GM either right now. I mean, it's a shit situation.
Can't do it before a month before the draft. That would be,
yeah, it's such a shit situation. And it's just like, what do you do here? I mean, like, I don't know what you do here, but I hope that we figure it out. And if we make the move, hopefully it's a good situation for Myles, and it's a situation where we get better from it, we get a good return from it. But maybe I'm also still kind of hoping that maybe we work it out. I mean, Myles Garrett's a guy that just last year said that the most important thing to him, he had a quote last year. He's like, the most special thing an athlete can do is finish where he starts. He's like, I don't blame other guys for taking different routes. He's like, but for me, that's the most important thing. And I'll always be dedicated to rebuilding this, or to building this franchise the best it can be, and blah, blah. The guy's the minority owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, the guy is just so tied to Cleveland that I do think that, this can work out in a sense. I do think that there's a way that you could convince Myles Garrett, look, just chill the fuck out. Like, we're going to make this happen. Like, let's give us give us this year. I don't know, but I do think that there is a chance that I don't think it's he is automatically on his way out. I do think that there is a good chance that the Browns play hardball here and don't trade him or smooth things over. Or, like I said, hopefully Andrew Berry's done pretty good trade wise. So if we do trade him, I have faith that, he would get something from that. And I did see today that just for a little side note here, that the Eagles were the second most, because he said a couple years ago during a joint practice that everyone wants to play for the Eagles. Who wouldn't want to play for the Eagles? Maybe down the line or something like that. So, man, he leaves, send him to Philly, dude. That'd be sick. I'd rather not happen at all. So, but another thing I want to add here though too, is that as much as I love Myles Garrett, somebody made a good point today. We've won like 8 or less games, like 6 of his 8 years. So him leaving, to be honest to you, like to be completely honest, I don't think it hurts the defense. It hurts your, feelings. Like you don't want to see the guy, but like, what does that really do to the Browns right now? Like they get a little worse defensively, sure, but like, has he ever equated to wins? You know what I mean? Like, does a dominant defensive end, he could be the best in the game, do they equate to wins when you don't have a quarterback? And the answer to that has been a resounding no since he's been in the league. So
I disagree with that. Last year, that defense won us games. Now, saying that it not this past year, like literally a one calendar year, like the last season when Joe Flacco was
they
leading
won
us.
games, but Joe Flacco won those last 5 games and got us into the playoffs.
I am going to say that was the defense, which was top ranked, top 3 in the league, dominating everybody that we played, and gave Joe Flacco, who still was turning the ball over at a ridiculous amount, an actual chance to win the game. And he did. I'm not taking away from Joe Flacco, but if you're going to sit here and say that Joe Flacco was the reason we won those games and not look at the third-rate defense or first.
Well, let's give you this. So 1 year out of Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
1 year out of Myles Garrett 8-year career, he had a little bit of an effect on the win-loss total 1 year. So let's take out that. Let's just say that let's give Myles Garrett credit for all 11 wins last year. So he got us 11 wins because he was the best defensive player in the world once. So I don't care. Like that doesn't do anything for me. Like it's more about I don't want Myles Garrett to leave because he's the best defensive player on earth and he loves Cleveland. And to me, the sign of him leaving is a sign of us failing at epic proportions, is more than it is, oh, I just can't handle watching Myles Garrett go somewhere else, because it's going to hurt and it's going to suck. But more or less, this is just a sign of a bigger problem, and that's just the Browns are not going anywhere in the right direction whatsoever if Myles Garrett's trying to get out of Cleveland. But like I said, he's never really truly done, as far as win-losses, he's never made an impact. He's been the best defensive guy. We've had the best defense in the world. And what happened? He got his ass cheeks clapped in Houston, as well as the offense that game.
Oh yeah.
So when it can only do so much, and it's the same reason why everyone doesn't want us to go draft Abdul Carter right now, because what is the point of making our already great defensive line even greater? What are you gonna do? Make 2 more quarters of football that way? So it's just until we get a quarterback. And you got to remember, Myles Garrett's most of his career. The other year that they made 2 years they made the playoffs. That was the Flacco year last year and Baker Mayfield year when we went and lost to the Chiefs. And both those times he had a quarterback playing in a goddamn pretty high level to get him there. So I hate that makes me sound like I'm slandering Myles Garrett, but it's just like in reality, like if the Browns were able to get pieces on offense or like something, I would be okay with it, but it has to be worth it. And it just sucks that we've even put this guy in this position, that we have failed Myles Garrett to this degree. I mean, this guy, all we had to do is get a quarterback, dude. That's all we had to do. And obviously Deshaun hasn't worked out. That's fucking pretty much over. And now we like Jackson Dart. I saw that today. So it's just nothing looks good for the Browns right now. But who knows? Maybe we smooth things over with Myles Garrett. We go draft Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. Maybe next year we're like, look, maybe we win 10, 11 games again, 9 games, get to the playoffs, whatever. And Myles is like, oh, okay, we're in the right direction now. That's definitely possible, but
It's interesting when you talked about your GM problems, and I look at I'm going to spin it to the Blue Jays for 2 seconds, but it's the same problem that they have. They have the worst farm system in baseball, and they have Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette waiting there, and they can't fuck up that re-signing. It's apples to oranges, but it's the same kind of thing. The Jays Nation wants to get rid of Russ Atkins, a Cleveland guy, desperately because they don't want him to fuck up what's going to happen.
yeah,
it's kind of it's the same. It's not the same thing, but it kind of. I get where you were coming from. Like, yeah, what do you do? You're stuck in no man's land. You can't get rid of. If you get rid of him now, you're behind the 8 ball. If he makes the wrong decisions, you're gonna have to deal with this for multiple years down the road. What do you do?
Yeah, this is this fucking sucks. I mean, I'll tell you that. Like I said, I told front office this morning, this is the first time since the moment I started being a Browns fan that I sat there and was like my fandom wavered for a few minutes. Like I was just like, do I really want to keep doing this? Like, do I have to be a Cleveland Browns fan? Like, did we really fuck this up that bad to where this guy? Because, like I said, I know I'm not. I agree that the win about all the win stuff. But like I said, I don't want to see this guy lose, or leave. Like it's as much as I do think having a great defense matters, but it only matters. I'd like to see us fix our offense so we can have the best of both worlds. Because I do think we have a great defense, but all we're doing is killing those guys, leaving them out on the fucking field for 3 quarters a game. But it's just disgusting that we are even here. I mean, we went to the playoffs last year. Things were looking up. And it is literally since the moment we lost that game in Houston, we have just nosedived since that moment. It has just gotten worse by the minute. So I just don't know. I really don't know. Hopefully this blows over. But I also I hope we don't rush it.
Yeah.
Were you starting to say something?
I was just gonna say it's we're gonna find out. I mean, I don't know what is on the horizon for us, but it's gonna be really interesting. I know that.
Yeah, I hope it goes to the NFC if we do trade him, though. I don't want to see him in the AFC, that's for sure. And the Browns better not fuck this up. Like, if we do trade it, do not trade him somewhere like fucking Baltimore.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Well, somebody tweeted about him somebody made a plea to Myles Garrett to come today, and Lamar Jackson retweeted it, so it's like, dude, don't you fucking dare. But I don't think Myles Garrett would do that. I really don't.
There's no way. I mean, he would have to sign there after the next year. There's no chance in fucking hell that we would trade him there.
I would actually Tibetan monk myself on YouTube if that happened. Like, I would engulf my saint itself in gasoline and flame.
Then we could have the Pinky and the Brain show with me in the front office. It's a win-win. It's a win-win-win for everybody involved.
Not the Browns.
Not the Browns. You are correct.
So then you're just gonna have a piece of shit, sad co-host that might be able to keep it together for a few days, but week 6 he's gonna stop showing up. Trust me.
Look, dude, just because I disagreed with you doesn't mean you had to get pissy about it.
Wait, what?
I'm just gonna stop showing up. I show up randomly.
Yeah, I just meant when the Browns are bad 6 weeks in, you're gonna stop showing up. Wait, what?
I thought you were talking shit.
We thought we were talking.
Bro, I'm about to take him out of here. Hold on. All right, so it's just us two again.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't forget.
All right. Well, let's.
We got some
I'm not
comments.
going to get into this Saints thing. We're going to do that tomorrow. That's too goddamn long. Or Wednesday. We'll do that on Wednesday. That's too long. And they haven't said shit about it since they posted it. So I think there's going to be more that comes out on that.
Did you guys talk about the? I guess those are kind of old messages in the in the chat.
Yeah, these are It's been a slow night. I mean, we were fucking late as shit, and we didn't talk about We'll talk about the Super Bowl later in the week, because I really just want to talk about Myles Garrett and the Luka and the whatever stuff. But yeah, like you missed this, but the guy that the Mavs GM's the guy that blew the Steph Curry to re-signing with Nike presentation years ago. Kept calling him Seth, spelled his name wrong.
LOL.
Kevin Durant thing, so he's the reason that Steph Curry went to Under Armour instead of Nike. So the guy just has never made good judgment ever.
That seriously was like the worst trade I can remember in a long time.
When the NBA, I know it's not Wojo anymore, but when he has to go and say my account isn't hacked or this isn't an April Fool's joke, and then talk about the trade,
yeah, that's bad.
It's pretty bad. It's bonkers.
There was a big OT win. Stephen F. Austin? Is that a team?
Yes, sir. The Lumberjacks of Stephen F. Austin. They're
You're
in
sick.
Texas.
They just hit a half-court overtime winner
Nice. That's always fun.
against 4-8 New Orleans.
Yeah, take that, New Orleans. You bad basketball team.
Kyle Pitts might get traded too. Let's go. All right. Well, I guess one more thing we can talk about real quick. Royal Rumble. I mean, I've seen front office and watch it, but what did you think about the Rumble?
So
just quick thoughts on it.
I'm gonna watch the rest of it tonight. The men's one was fun. Well, it was good. I had a lot. I show speed being like helping to eliminate, and then getting thrown over a table was fun. The final six when Roman and Seth were doing their thing, and then CM Punk eliminated him, and then Logan Paul eliminated him, like legit made me pop. Like, oh shit, my son had to remind me that I lived in an apartment and could not get that excited.
My former boss, who was like the biggest wrestling nerd, like everything, anybody I've ever met, my old manager, Gene, everybody calls him Mean Gene. He is like an encyclopedia of wrestling. So he texted me afterwards. He said, loved the Rumble. He said, loved the Rumble. Couldn't see the picture for WrestleMania, but now the Royal Rumble made it crystal clear, is what he says to me. So he says, we're going to get Cody Cena, Gunther and Jay Uso, which obviously you guys remember Jay. He almost beat Gunther like a week ago.
Yeah.
Almost clean pinned his ass. Everybody was actually pissed that he got that close and they didn't, because I think people are, turning on Gunther. Because whatever. But then we're going to get Seth, Roman, and Punk, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Which is going to be sick. Tiffany and Charlotte Flair.
Yes, please.
Rhea and Io Sky.
Yes, please.
Bianca Naomi versus Liv Raquel. And he says Jade's going to cost them the belts.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It doesn't excite me because that's pretty predictable, but yes.
He says Cena's going to win the Chamber. It's going to be Cena, Punk, Seth, Roman, Drew, and AJ. Gunther versus Logan at the Chamber.
Okay, yeah, that holds it over, right? Get Logan a pay. Yeah, okay.
And then Cody versus Sammy at the Chamber.
Yeah.
And then to top things off, it's going to be Trish versus Nia beef coming up, is what he predicts.
And the Chamber's in Toronto too. I do know that.
Yes, it is, dude. He also told me he would be Nia Jax's Ozempic.
No comment. That's outstanding.
Nia Jax looks like she burps, dude. Like she looks like she's just gross, dude. But Yeah, Nia Jax. So what did you think? So the men's rumble pretty good. You haven't watched? Did you watch any of the other ones?
No,
Not
I'm gonna
yet.
do when the kid goes to bed tonight. But the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens looks like a lot of cringe watching. A lot of like, ooh, like that's not very safe.
Yeah, it was kind of not. Dude, the ending was cool, but that match was like,
Was that a slug?
just kind of slow.
So is it just like the three big spots, and that's what I
Yes.
need to see? Like,
Yes.
and you showed
You've already
me,
seen one of them.
yeah, and I watched the my wrestling YouTube channel. Like they do like a half hour little like what happened to each match and kind of talk about the main spots, and like the one where he threw it, where he had the ladder on the bottom and Cody went through it, and then they suplexed each. Yeah, it didn't. All of them in stills look fucking painful. So I was like, oh, okay, good. Yeah, this. So do I have friend to friend here, and fuck the front office because he doesn't care about wrestling right now. But we like you, front office. Have a wonderful night. Is it worth my time, or do I like? I've seen the slots, so is it worth my time to watch or not?
No.
Okay, is DIY is Motor City Machine Guns and DIY worth it?
It's better than it was. All right. I mean, it's cool because
not,
it was a two fall count match or whatever. You know, that was kind of cool. But just watch the rumbles, dude.
Is the women's one worth? Even though we know Charlotte Flair is going to win,
Yeah,
is it worth it?
women's was good. Women's was
Okay,
good.
so I'll watch that tonight before I go to bed. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but don't just watch the two rumbles. I mean, they were good. I mean, it was underwhelming. Honestly, this weekend was full of shit that was just underwhelming. Like the darts. Yeah, obviously, you know, darts. We neither one of us really liked the dart setup, that kind of stuff. We had a UFC Saturday, which I know the UFC or the front office probably tuned into that or at least followed that at least.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it live, but I did. I did see some replays.
Yeah, just an awful day. We had a three pick parlay that lost. Every one of them lost. It was just the worst. Like
No.
fucking what's his face lost to Michael Page. Michael Venom Page beat him pretty decisively. We had Izzy winning by decision. Izzy gets finished.
Yeah.
And then I think the other one was Pavlovich by knockout. He won, but it wasn't by knockout. He almost knocked.
That was Rosenstruck, right?
Yeah, he almost knocked him out like 3 times. He just couldn't fucking finish it, dude. I was like, very first round he drops him. I'm like, easy money. And then it just stopped. I'm like, fuck. But it really wasn't that good of a card. I mean, it was a cool card, but you know, Izzy stopped. It kind of looked like the Alex Pereira one. If you guys remember when Alex Pereira knocked out Jamal Hill, you know, the cup incident where he got kicked in the balls and they told him, you know, I'm good or whatever. Same thing basically. Izzy got kicked, got a little kicked in the balls, but as soon as they tried to stop it, he was like, no, I'm good. Like, don't worry about it. But instead of him then knocking out the guy then knocked out Izzy, caught him with a fucking straight right. The very first punch after the break. Just a piss missile, dude. Drops him, and then the guy runs over to him. He runs over, you know, he drops and kind of scurries to the cage, and the guy hops on him. And it probably could have maybe given him a few more extra seconds, but definitely not a bad stoppage at all. Kind of underwhelming. I was like, damn, dude, Izzy. We're getting Izzy headlining a free card. But, you know, that was like all these big things that happened this weekend. All of them were out of fucking the country. So it was like darts started at 6 a.m.
Boy, didn't do good on Sunday. I know
yeah, and then what time did that card start on Saturday morning? It was like 6 a.m. I think it was the prelims. 6 a.m. on Saturday morning was the prelims. I think 8 or 9 a.m. was the like TV prelims, and then I don't know. I mean, it was a long Saturday, and like none of it lived up to what. But I mean, the Rumble. A lot of people like the Rumble, and if you thought the Rumble was the best ever, then hell yeah. So
I can think like the Ric Flair one is I still think better. What is it like? There's one in the early 2000s. I'm thinking of the Chris Benoit one is better. Yeah, there's better one. There was cool moments like Penta, like I love me some Penta. Penta.
He fucked up
and
though. Did you see him touch his feet? See his feet touch?
Yes, I know. He botched it in both feet. They tried their best to save it, and they sure didn't put a replay up, but it was pretty obvious.
He
both those
botched.
feet hit.
He botched his first match too. Did you see that? Like where he tried to flip on the ropes and just fucking.
Yeah. Well, you know that Phoenix is his brother, right?
Right.
Who does even more flippy shit. One night when we are not on stream, we need to watch in Lucha Underground, him and Vampiro do a death match, and it's squeamish. It's fun.
I'm down for that. What's next? Is the Chamber next?
Yeah, but it's not. I don't know if it must be in the middle of March. I'm guessing because they moved WrestleMania back because WrestleMania is like the second weekend in April this year.
Yeah, so they moved that back.
It's Easter weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of a few weeks for that. I know that, and then UFC, we're moving on to fucking just two of the most ass cheek pay-per-view cards you could ask for. Like it is so bad. I'm trying to think who even is the. I know
for UFC next week.
Strickland and DDP is one of them. I want to say Strickland and
and then it's
and then is it
Cannonier
Chama
and Rodriguez?
okay.
That's the next week for Duplessis and Strickland. It's Zhang Weili and Suarez.
So
Tafa and Teixeira.
When is Pereira versus Ankalev?
That
this month?
is no, that's not till March 8th, so 1 month away.
Okay. But that DDP card looks like ass, dude.
Not good.
When does that
Not
Pro
good at
Fighting
all.
League start up? What they did that's not till next March, right?
Yeah.
Dude, it is
Raw
bad.
must have been pretty lit. I might have to watch Raw because people are like,
that might be the play tonight. Watch Raw after the Hey Kid goes to bed.
Somebody said, I just watched Kevin Owens pull off a package pile driver on one of his best friends when I was convinced he died 48 hours ago. Dude, the iShow Speed Spear was fierce, dude. I'm just gonna play it.
So good. That made me laugh. It even made my son laugh. Oh God, I know.
Bro, this is one of the most. So iShow Speed and Kai Cenat were both live streaming this whole event. Which what access to have? Just fucking full access from Triple H to live stream. But look at this guy. So this is Braun Breaker. Here's iShow Speed after he joined the Royal Rumble.
It still makes me laugh.
Like, dude, that fucked him up.
Oh, he got fucking destroyed. That is a 270-pound fucking freak. If you Scott Steiner, or front office, if you know who Scott Steiner is, that's his son.
Dude, look at the whiplash on his neck.
Ugh.
And then the best part was, so he throws him over the top rope, and then the guy that he helped, Braun Breaker, and that guy who he helps eliminate, and that's why he's doing the black backflip in the ring and does like the Ronaldo celebration. He throws him over the top rope, and then the guy catches him and then throws him over the top of a table. It's just so good. It makes me smile.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. It was a decent Rumble. I definitely think you guys should watch it. If you guys are into it, definitely go watch it.
It's on Netflix.
It was a pretty good Rumble. So before we get out of here real quick, and we'll talk more about this on Wednesday, because I'm sure it'll develop, because this is actually just coming out since we got on, right before we got on air, and we didn't really have enough time because we're running late and everything's kind of pushed back and not even clear-headed. I woke up from a fucking coma and came straight here and hit live. So took me a minute. But Cooper Cup, so they're trading Cooper Cup for sure. It was Hey Kid breaking news to us, and now it's all over Twitter. Where do we think, just a quick thought, where do you think Cooper Cup ends up? Or where do you want him to end up? Maybe it's the better question. Where's the best fit for Cooper Cup?
God.
I feel like we should ask the Hay Kid too.
Dude, straight up,
Ask him.
I just want him to land on. Just please land on your feet somewhere. Don't go to one of these terrible run the ball offenses. Like, as much as I would love to see him and Josh Allen and think that would work, please God, don't go to Buffalo.
Buffalo was the first thing I thought of.
I know, because that's an obvious fit. It's an obvious fit. He would be very effective there, but I just like. That's just going to kill all the.
What if he
all
moved
fantasy
across
value.
locker rooms? The Chargers, maybe? They could sure use it for number one wide receiver.
Yeah, but I think Lad McConkey kind of does his. Nah, maybe Lad's more of a deep guy. I wouldn't mind seeing him in Atlanta, dude.
Ooh, that's an interesting one with Jack.
I could be convinced that's all right.
Him, Drake, and Michael Penix, dude, and I think that would be because Ray McLeod had a big, those guys outside of Drake London had a pretty nice role this year. So I definitely think that would be an interesting fit. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, I mean that's just now happening tonight. So it sounds like they're going to put him in a spot he wants to be in. It sounds like so. I assume it's going to be a pretty friendly spot for him. I would assume, but I don't. Maybe he goes to like Carolina or, maybe.
That would be an under the radar one.
Under the radar one, get Bryce some more weapons, dude. You got Adam Thielen out there who hasn't been bad. You get just an all white. Him and you got two white guys and then Xavier Legette eating raccoon.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Tampa?
Just especially because that's an up and rising, and he would be the guy getting as much stuff as he could possibly get, which would be lovely.
That'd be sick. Tampa would be nice too. Dale,
Hey,
Tampa, he could definitely replace Chris Godwin.
I did. Because you get to answer a question. Come here for 2 seconds. The question is, because you broke this, where would you like to see Cooper Kupp end up? Ooh.
Not Baltimore.
I'm going to go where I think he'll end up and where I want him to end up.
Well, we know where he wants to end up, so go ahead.
Baltimore Ravens would probably be the best because, I mean, realistically, the Baltimore Ravens wide receiver core is very bad.
Zay Flowers is bad?
He's mid at best. I'm not going to say he's
Hot takes.
bad, but he's really not that good. Well, like, if you even think of the top 10 receivers, you think of, Justin Jennings, Tyreek Hill. Where's Zay Flowers in that? Maybe, number 10. But besides that, where's he in? Cooper Kupp, where I realistically think he'll go?
Yes.
Probably he'll end up around... Well, what places need him?
What places need him? This is the question why we're asking you live on YouTube and on Kick.
You got to be
daily. Yeah, you got.
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude.
Spit it out.
Pressure's on. There's no wrong answer. Except Baltimore.
The Ravens could definitely take them, but I don't know what they would give.
That's not. We're not asking about give.
know.
How about Buffalo? What does Buffalo sound like a good option?
Yeah, that would make sense. Because they lost Stephon Diggs.
Yes. How about Carolina as a wild card?
Carolina.
I have another sleeper too.
Bryce Young a weapon?
Front office has another weapon. Let me hear what front office has to say.
Okay.
Go ahead, front office.
I think a team like the Denver Broncos could really use Cooper Kupp. I think that they have people there, but I think Cooper would come in and do wonders out of the slot. Give Drake not Drake.
Wait.
What's that young quarterback's name? I can't think of it right now.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Thank you. That's right.
Maybe
I think he would fit really, really well there.
Front office said Denver as a wild.
That could make sense.
Maybe a wild horse. Haha.
I think honestly, I think the most realistic, besides maybe not wanting to trade it to a division rival, but I think somebody like the 49ers could make sense because they didn't make the playoffs, and I've heard that it's also a possible rumor that
Rams aren't trading him to a division foe.
No. Is hurt, or if you want wants to trade. That's just a rumor, so I mean it could make sense.
You've done good. Thank you for breaking the news, by the way.
There's chips over
Well
there.
done, kid.
Yes, you may grab the chips. Congratulations.
By the
It
way,
was the Hey Kid. Yeah.
Zendaya took Tom Holland to a party over the weekend to their family, and they're all just super ghetto black people, and they're all calling him Spider-Man, which is hilarious. Like, what's up, Spider-Man?
Yeah, you know that's badass.
Hell yeah, dude. He's
That's
got
fucking
all the
tight.
respect, dude.
You had to do
Well-
nothing.
Well, by the way, thank you, Hey Kid. That was a little rambling from an 11-year-old. I apologize, but he did break it, so he was allowed to have an
Yeah,
opinion.
he can have
even
his
if it
little
was a
moment
really
for
shitty
sure.
one.
For sure.
And it was a shitty opinion.
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
that's-
right
One
here.
other possibly.
Oh, good lord. You got to just close the door on him.
Giants? That's an awful idea.
Fuck no.
Good.
Yep.
They need
See ya.
help.
Well, yeah, they need help.
Imagine a movie.
He had one good
Fuck.
one.
See ya.
Bye.
Second-
We're saying goodnight, so we'll talk to you soon. Okay, I'll talk to you in a bit. Sorry.
Little bastard.
about
Just, we know where you want him to go. Baltimore Ravens. Shut up.
that. Shut up. Exactly. Have to look at that stupid Ravens
I hope you-
screensaver.
Fail school. If I lived in your neighborhood, I would slip drugs in his book bag.
That'd be
Send him
awesome,
to
'cause
school
since
with
his mom's
pot in
teacher,
his book bag.
His mom's his teacher too. There'd be so much good that could come from that.
I'd be like,
For my
hey,
entertainment value.
hey, Zay Flowers left you a little something in your book bag.
Imagine that's the notes. the
And
drug
it just
dogs
says
came in
Zay, and it's a bag of weed, and it just says Zay Flowers. Get it?
yeah.
Good shit. Well, what a shit show today, boys. I mean, Wednesday we're going to be better. Monday, Wednesday, Friday going forward, that's what we're doing. If this is the first time you tuned in, we didn't really have any viewers today. And the one viewer that did come in today said he wanted to talk about Myles Garrett. We told him to wait. We were mid balls deep about talking about Luka. So Bradley Weirich probably said, yeah, fuck you guys. But going forward, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's going to be the idea. And then obviously on weekends, we'll do darts still. Darts are just going to be Kick and Twitter, X, whatever. No YouTube, just because there's so many copyrights. And I have to go back and none of them are effective. Then I have to go back and mute the ones that do. It's just a fucking hassle. So we're just going to not do that. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think that's the way we've been doing things. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we get the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, the end of the week. We still cover everything that happens in between. Still the way we've been doing things, at front office said a week ago, we were talking about it. He, made a good point of now that we're not doing following live games and stuff, we've kind of afforded ourselves a little bit more of we don't need to be, we're not going to be as outdated as Quick. We can kind of, we can shoot an episode on Monday, talk about all the things that happened over the weekend and be totally fine till Wednesday. We have plenty of stuff, and then Wednesday, we can talk about Tuesdays and Wednesday stuff, but I think we're a little less, obviously with sport, it's all time related. You want to be current, you want to get the shit out, but we don't have to be the moment it happens. If we have a clip, a Jimmy Butler clip or a Cooper Cup clip for Wednesday, people aren't going to go, well, I'm not watching this. It's so I think the way we're doing things, we'll get three shows a week. 2 hours at night. We'll just we'll run through everything that happens. We'll go through the way we do. We'll have discussions on the big stuff that's happening. And then on weekends we'll do darts. This past weekend we didn't do darts. Dale was out of town. I had some pre-planned shit. Kind of a weird weekend, but going forward we are definitely planning on having darts Saturdays, darts Sundays. So make sure you guys are joining us for those. Those should be pretty good. Make sure you guys follow us scan that QR code. I got the QR working again. Just follow us on all of our shit. Get the Discord. Follow us on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment. Got to get these videos circulating. If you're on X, make sure you guys give us a follow. If you're on Kick, man, hit that follow button because like I say, Kick and X are where we're going to be doing the dart streams. So if you guys like the dart streams, make sure you guys are following us. Make sure you guys go to Action Network, man. Follow our daily Derelict picks. Usually get 3 or 4 picks and a prop a day.
Looks like it's going to be 1-1-1 for the bets.
Looking like 1-1-1. Fuck you.
It's all right.
Bonus, you piece of trash. Couldn't even get 20 points tonight, I believe. So really makes me sick. But it is what it is. So front office, you guys got anything you guys want to say? I know we're all kind of here late, but we've kind of crammed a bunch of shit. And we still almost went 2 hours, but it just kind of felt we were behind the whole time. So just anything you guys want to say before we get out of here that we didn't talk about?
Yeah, I know you guys already talked about it, but I give me 20 seconds to talk about how bad the Maverick franchise is, dude. What a fucking disaster. What a shit show. Good on Mark Cuban for getting out of that hellhole of a fucking franchise.
He was confused today. Did you see that?
Yeah, of course he's confused. Everybody's fucking confused. The only person not confused is Nico, and Nico's a dumbass, and he's not going to make it to the end of the year.
Some guy commented on our clip on Instagram and goes, "Yeah, well, that's why he's an NBA GM and you're making Instagram reels." I go, "Brother, his own fucking owner doesn't know what's going on. What do you mean,
dude? Just turn on the television and look at everybody else not knowing why the fuck they made this decision."
Kendrick Perkins is the only guy going, "Well." Yeah.
It's like, come on. That was I mean, I have seen some bad trades and stuff, and even trades that like turn out to be bad. Like I would say that's what happened with Deshaun Watson. When we got him, we felt great. Everyone was like, "Damn, they're gonna be that's gonna be fucking good."
It actually makes me sick when you say that. It hurts.
I know it does. It hurts, but we got to normalize it now. But nobody in their right fucking mind looked at this trade and go, "Oh, I can see it." No, they saw a 25-year-old superstar, top 5 player in the NBA on anybody's fucking list, get traded for nothing.
Nothing. One first-round pick. Brother.
And 60 games of Anthony Davis.
every goddamn problem that Luka Doncic has right now, which aren't many, he averages 39 and 9, fat. While being fat, apparently.
Oh, God. He's 260, Nick. I don't know about that.
Guy's like 6'8". He's like 6'6". Of course, 6'7". Of course, he's 270. But it's like, motherfucker, he's 25. Any problem he has, he can fix. Yep. He's 25. He hasn't even hit his prime. And he's already been to an NBA Finals.
And average 30 plus.
Average 30 plus. He played 40 minutes a night, front office.
Dude,
40
I know. Hurt. He was hurt.
What a fat fuck, dude. What an out of shape, unconditioned piece of shit. If he would have played 42 minutes, maybe they'd have won.
That kind of stupid is just like, that's different level impressive. You know what I mean?
Dude. Well, like I said before you got here, the guy that fucked that Nico Harrison is literally the guy that when 2015 Steph hadn't won I mean, this is like Magic Johnson not picking, in winning time, not picking fucking Nike and going to, what do you go to, Converse or whatever. It's like all that money he missed out on back in the day. Nico Harrison, imagine, and I talked to this earlier. It's funny because like today it really has that feeling, doesn't it? Of like no one believed in this, and he was just like, "No, you guys have to believe me." And it's almost like they're like, "Fine, well," but like no one is okay with this, and everyone's kind of like he's on a limb, like he is on an island, and he's like, "No, believe me, this is gonna work," and everybody's like, "You're gonna have to show us." Like that's what this feels like. And
nobody fucking believes it.
But this is the guy that Steph Curry, 2015, hasn't won a title yet. He's coming off a rookie small shoe deal with Nike he had, so he was already with Nike. Comes up free agent, flies him out for a big presentation. They walk him in. They literally used the same presentation pitch that they used for Kevin Durant. Forgot to take Kevin Durant off the front page. So they sit Steph Curry down, bring up the PowerPoint. Kevin Durant is still on the first page. On all of the slides and all his name tags, they had his name spelled Stephon Curry instead of Stephen Curry on all of his name tags and stuff. And he repeatedly called him Seth. He kept calling him his little brother during the thing.
Jeez.
That's the guy. So then he leaves that interview, and then goes straight to Under Armour signs, and he's still there. So hundreds of millions of dollars Nike misses out on here. Because this is the guy that you let trade Luka fucking Doncic to the Lakers?
That's impressive, dude. Like really, like straight up, like that. It's honestly impressive. This is what it is.
Dude, I don't care. No matter how bad you fuck up this week, either one of you, just sit back and remember, you could be dumber.
Yeah, at least I didn't trade for fucking
You could be a lot fucking
Anthony
stupider.
Davis. Ugh.
Good Lord. Yeah, I wish you would have been here for that because I mean we didn't. I was just waking up. I didn't get too animated, but dude,
I
that
had
trade
to
is
bring it
fucking
in.
mind blowing, dude. It's
I've never seen anything like that.
25, dude. They gave him the face. They literally called and said, "Hey, LeBron's getting old. You want a new face? LeBron's not even gone yet, but you want a guy just to plug in, ready to go."
Yeah, well, and what do you do now with the Lakers season? Like, where, like, how do you project them? Because I mean, they're not, they're obviously not in contention right now. But Jesus Christ, you have 70 guaranteed every night. All you got to do is find a way to score another 40.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, like and I said this, and I know I keep saying I'm gonna wrap this up, but such a post LeBron move. I mean, obviously none of this was about pairing those two. I don't think, and it was. I mean, obviously we want to see that, and that's going to be gross. And I'm sure they'll find a way. I mean, two ball dominant guys. It's going to be hard. It's going to be kind of awkward at first. I mean, two guys that need the ball, but again, LeBron's been begging somebody to be the guy for like 3 fucking years, 4 years now, and Anthony Davis again could be that guy on some nights, but just not built to be that guy every single night. We know that he's not an A. He needs somebody. So he's begging for this. So if Luka comes in and says, "No, this is my fucking thing," I'm sure LeBron's gonna be like, "Brother, yes, it is. Take it." I mean, that's the kind of guy LeBron is. But like, dude, you have just fucking given LeBron James a guy that he can mentor, and then like you said, afterwards you're set. This is such a post LeBron. This is so good for the Lakers. I mean, you've got spend the rest of your career with LeBron. You have a little bit of weight problems. This guy spends millions. Nobody's going to get you in shape like LeBron James.
Seriously.
Nobody's going to keep you on your shit like LeBron James. He whipped Anthony Davis into shape. I mean, Anthony Davis, obviously had his thing, but like, he got Anthony Davis, taught him how to be a champion. Kind of got him, do. So I just think that it's the right guy to have, and then he's just gonna, Luka, I'm gone. Here's the keys. That's how that's gonna happen. It's incredible.
Straight up, they probably like made a monster. Like that's actually probably what they did.
Yeah, they pissed him off. They took $100 million. Like I said in that clip I put out today, $100 million they took away from him, called him a fat fuck on the way out the door, and they've slandered him all day. All you've seen all day is, well, he ballooned up to 270. They gave him 11 days to. They gave him 11 days to. They said he was injured, but in reality, they gave him an 11-day excused absence to go lose some weight and blah blah blah. And he keeps drinking. You guys are sick. He's a 25-year-old kid that just took you to a fucking finals appearance, averaging 30, playing 40 minutes, and you fuckers are gonna call him a fat bitch and send him to L.A.
Dude, it sounds so much worse when you say it like that.
Hey, fatty. You fat bitch, dude. Like, yeah, have fun dealing with that fatty. Like, we weren't going to give him $350 million. We were scared of that. You're fucking crazy. He is going to be so dialed in, boys.
Yeah, 100%, dude. He is going to be fucking slinging dick. They're not ready for this, dude.
Could you imagine if we got Mavericks Lakers playoff series this year?
Why are you whispering?
Because it's so mind blowing that I can't raise my voice.
I'm with you. Well, we're gonna see it here in 22 days.
Was that when they play next?
February 25th, and the lines are already out. On that. Today, the Lakers were 4-point favorites today.
In LA or in Dallas?
I think it's in LA. I'm not sure. But but they do play the 25th, and I don't know if it's out on Action, but FanDuel Sportsbook did post odds for that game today, so they're already out. We're gonna make ourselves bet on that game. Like that might be a game that we go live for. Like that's a game that that's a big one. So 25th, we'll see that. That'll be a good one. A little birthday present to the front office and I.
Yes, sir.
And
your birthday's around there.
Well, he's the 18th. I'm the 19th. We're 1 year, 1 day apart.
Well, that's in February?
February.
Yes. Well,
what'd you get us, Dale?
Well, we're celebrating my birthday on the 5th of March, and I've already made this because it's on a Wednesday. I can almost guarantee we're going to do a fantasy baseball draft.
Let's fucking go, dude. Let's go.
I'm down.
There'll be lots of
We'll do a grinder draft for our birthday. What?
What did you say?
Nothing. But yeah, no, baseball draft sounds sick. We're getting there, dude. Baseball season's right around the corner. Can't wait.
Doing way too many mock drafts. It's getting exciting. But
Yeah,
I haven't
you're correct.
done a real one yet. But I have the fucking itch.
I'd be like, Dale, what are you
Pitchers and
doing? He's like,
catchers.
research. I'm like, on what? He's like, fantasy baseball. I'm like, lose my number. You sick fuck.
You want to know what I fall asleep to? It's like listening to catcher rankings. It's like I have problems. I literally have like RotoWire is like the driest shit, but I love falling asleep to it because if I'm interested, I'll listen to it, and if not, I fall asleep.
Hey, well, you listen to
Fuck yeah, dude.
you listen to catcher. You jerk off to catcher stats. He builds computers for fun. I mean,
We're just,
Everybody's
you
got
guys
their
are an
thing, you know?
interesting bunch, dude. You guys, but it's good.
we are the derelicts that make this.
We're the
place
derelicts, dude. Yeah, the nerdy derelicts, dude. And me, hey, I just do dabs at epic proportions of that,
run. And you have long naps.
I take long naps, and I'm getting. We are doing pretty good here on the clips. Things are starting to look up.
Yeah.
Cole Peppers just texted me earlier and was like, "Yeah, it seems like you guys are finally starting a rhythm, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." So
Got in there, baby.
good.
Just took us a minute.
Yeah.
And then
The
starting
Wolfpack of three
Wednesday,
has
we're
it.
no more out. I literally came home and did all this shit, and then sat down for 15 minutes, fell asleep. I'm like, dude, pathetic. But Wednesday we'll be back 7 to 9. Make sure you guys follow us, man. Like I said, appreciate everybody that came out tonight. We're gonna wrap this up. You guys have a good rest of your Monday, man. Have a good Tuesday, and we will see you back here on Hump Day Wednesday. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. There'll be basketball, a bunch of shit on. So plenty of
Stay
stuff.
warm, stay safe.
Stay warm, stay safe. If you're there, it's 70 degrees here today, but it's going back down in the 40s. It's negative
Go fuck
30
yourself.
something Celsius and snow where Dale's at. So
Jeez.
It's getting into the minus 40s with the wind chill tomorrow, so it's good. It's gonna be a great week.
hell yeah. All right, fellas. Well, you guys have a good rest of your night. We'll see you guys on Wednesday for some more sports. This has been Derelict Sports, Nick Dale, front office. See you guys on Wednesday. All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace. New outro, by the way.